Hello, hello, hello. This is your lady Genevieve Amasewa. Welcome to my show called Keeping It Real. So if you've never seen this show, or if you've never seen me, or if you've never heard of me, this is Genevieve Amasewa, and I host the show called Keeping It Real. The reason why it's called Keeping It Real, because everything is real. What you see is what you get. We don't hide it. We don't hide our opinions. And also, the topics that we're going to discuss today is on post-Ghana elections. As we all know, we had an election on the 7th of December, Saturday, 7th of December 2024. So there's been some interesting situations that is still going on. That the winner has not been announced yet. So we're going to get into that. And I'm going to be inviting Nana Osage in the next few minutes to join me so we can discuss what is going on. But this show is brought to you by ABL Television 24/7 and our subsidiary radio called Voice of London. Now today's topic is about post-Ghana election, as I said, and it's analysing the results and why the EC Electoral Commission team has not come out and announced the winner. Although the contender from NPP has come out and gracefully conceded and has congratulated NDC John Mahama. So that was, I would say, very gentlemanly of Bawumia of NPP. Now, the issue right now is, I find it very strange, or some of us are finding it very strange, that we're still waiting to get the final results. So, Nana Osage, are you ready to join me? Let's go on and discuss. Because when you and I get together, I always say it's heated because Nana and I were never on the same page. I say white and he might say black. So it's going to be a very interesting topic. He may agree with me with this topic actually that we're going to talk about. And when we're presenting and we're talking about, I guess, the different political parties, we speak objectively. We're not on anybody's side. We're just analysing both parties, how the voting went in Ghana. And I'm just so pleased to see that at least it went peacefully. Although we heard that there were a few violence here and there, but not many, not much, compared to 4 years ago when so many people died. So that was good. So Nana, I'm waiting for you to join me. So come along, I'm waiting for you to join me, Nana. So whilst we're waiting for Nana, let me just go on to, I guess, speak and analyse what I feel, which many of us are a bit strained about. Now, like the Electoral Commission team, we don't understand why that they have not come out to announce the winner. And I have the kind of mind that I began to be, I begin to analyze and a bit skeptical, thinking, what's going on here? In fact, a few of us are saying, what's going on here? Why have you not come out and just announced the winner? Although the contender from the other party has conceded and congratulated the incoming party. So what is going on? So I watched her yesterday and she was saying that Ghanaians must be patient. How long does it count? How long does it take to count? The figures are out. And we've seen the results. So what are they waiting for? What is it that Ghanaians have to be patient about? So that aside, then there's another observation that I have seen, that I would say that I'm very proud of the Ghanaians actually, that they came out. Apparently not many people came out to vote, but those that voted spoke, and they have shown that they need a change. So we're going to balance this. We're going to discuss what NPP did in the last 8 years and what we think NDC are coming to do. Because let's keep it real, it can't be easy, and I'm sure it's not easy managing, or shall I say, well, when you're a president, you're still managing a country because there are different departments that you have to manage. But ruling as a president, it cannot be easy. Ruling a country with the different languages, different cultures, different needs, and the difficulty of developing Africa. Now, I'm saying this just to be objective, but let's go to the next point that I want to make. The poverty that Africa is going through. Every time I speak about Africa, I say the same thing. When you look at the wealth in Ghana, there's absolutely no reason why anyone should be suffering. There's absolutely no reason why that there are no jobs. No reason why that the economy in the last 8 years went from Ghana being seen as the next economic growth in West Africa, and now at the worst bottom in the last 8 years. So I'm thinking, when Nana Osage joins me, we can analyze, perhaps, let's keep it real, analyze what really went wrong. Is it because we didn't have money? Is it because the country economically went down because so much money was stolen that came out in the media? Specific contracts went to family members. Could that be the reason? I'm not saying it's just this ruling party. Past parties have been accused as well. Is that the reason, perhaps? Is it another reason where $54 million was found in somebody's, a member of the present party house? And apparently, when this woman was arrested, or shall I say questioned, she was not arrested. So this is something. So Nana, are you ready? Can you join me? I know you're a very, very busy man. I'm loving your hat again.
Well, what can I say? Tradition in Africa is the best country and continent
in the whole world, regardless what anybody said. So I knew you were going to be wearing your fancy hat. So I thought, well, let me just wear my lovely kente.
Yes.
After all, we're talking about Ghana, an election.
Yes.
So.
And we also know that Ghana was the first to get independence.
It was the first to get independent. We're proud of that, but sometimes I'm a bit also embarrassed. We're the first to get independence. And even at that time, Ghana was on the same par with China, because China was developing as well. Look at China, look at Ghana now. So sometimes I'm a bit embarrassed to discuss that, but I'm sure you might have something positive to say.
I think we've got a call, so let's go pick up our reporter from Ghana.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is it Godfrey?
Godfrey,
okay, well, they're trying to get him.
To give us
the summary. Oh, yeah, obviously he's right in the pit of it.
Yes.
So what do you think about this electoral? Did I say that correctly? Oh, he's here.
Okay.
Godfrey.
Yeah.
Godfrey, is your lady Genevieve Amasewa?
Yeah, Genevieve.
With Nana Osage.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Have I put you on the spot again? We want to know.
I can hear you, Genevieve.
Yes. So obviously, everything went well according to the voting and everything else. Right now, Could you give us a summary of what's going on? Because we don't understand why I guess it's not opposition, is it? The present party, the contender, has come out to concede that and has congratulated NDC, and yet the Electoral Commission. Yeah, Electoral Commission.
Yeah, the chairman.
The chairman
of the EC.
Has not pronounced the winner. Do you know what's going on?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
UK and Ghanaian living in UK. That's what the supporters of the opposition were worried about. But the commission earlier on made us to know that after the election, it will take us like 72 hours to pronounce the winner. According to the commission, you have to be satisfied with all the regional coordination or coalition results before they will do any announcement. So that's what they were waiting. Yesterday around 8, there was no transfer of results from the 16 regions. So the commission wanted to at least come up with a satisfied figure, not in a figure whereby after maybe doing a declaration or doing the announcement, they will just go back and publish different results, because after the announcement, that's what the general public is going to carry out, or the media is going to publish. And after that announcement, one of the things that the commission normally does is to gazette the results and then becoming a public document for everyone to see, whoever ready to at least have the results. So that's why there was a delay in the announcement of this year election. But earlier on, the commission, in an interview with the chairman, the deputy chairman of in charge of operation, Dr. Asai Bosman, made us to know that the commission will use 72 hours before you do so. Basically, that's what happened. So now the announcement has been made. The former president has been re-elected, or the former president has been elected for the second time. So that's what is happening now. Now the opposition is jubilating and other stuff. So Genevieve, when you come to Ghana, this is what happening right now.
So is it official? Are you saying that it's official? Well, it's not official yet, from what you're telling me. We're still waiting for 3 days. Is what you're saying?
The commission this evening made an announcement.
All right.
Declaring the
opposition, NDC.
Yeah, I said the winner of this year election.
Right. So it's official.
They were pulling 6,328,397 votes, representing 56.55%. And Dr. Mahmoud Baumi of the MPP also pulled out 4,657,304, representing 41.6 votes. Another political party also made someone like Nana Kwame Bediakon had 478. Alan Kwadwo Chairman also, as an independent candidate, they also pulled out 31,202. So the announcement has made. It just made 2 hours ago.
All right.
So now, yeah.
So this is perfect timing to do the show then. Yeah. It's perfect timing to.
It was.
Go ahead.
The announcement. I can hear you. If you have anything to ask, I'm ready to answer you.
So what I'm saying is that it's just perfect timing then. If it has officially been announced 2 hours ago, that the opposition has won, then I guess what's happening in Ghana right now? I mean, what's happening? You know how Africans are. They're probably dancing and partying. What's happening right now?
Yeah, as I said earlier on, the reason why reason why the announcement was so delayed was that some of the constituency was there was a little bit violence and other stuff. So
Right.
the commission decided to at least to make sure there's peace and other stuff before making the announcement. But the mood in Ghana right now, as I said, now it's peaceful. The country is peace. There's peace. As you know, the opposition in town jubilating and other stuff. But the government is also trying to, at least from now, the transition of the change of government will start from this week. And so the mood, as you said, the mood is very calm. The country is very calm and other stuff.
And people are relaxed. Yeah, people are relaxed and relieved, probably.
Yeah, unlike yesterday's and other stuff where some of the constituency saw a little bit crashes and confusion and other stuff. But the mood right now is okay because the commission has come out to announce the winner of this year election, bringing out a whole figure of total vote cast, then the rejected votes and number of votes registered. So, Genevieve, when you come to Ghana, I would say there's so much peace. We don't know what to look for the next days and other stuff, but I can confirm that there's now the NDC has won the 2024 election.
Oh, that's really great, Godfrey. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, Ron, I guess when you go offline, we're going to discuss the big job that NDC Mahama will have to undertake. Do you have anything else to add? I guess you have to be objective, isn't it?
The one thing, after the election, a lot of, discussions and other stuff, surely the government, the MPP supporters were just a little bit worried because they were hoping to win this election. But one thing that happened was for them to lose, people believe there was a lot of vote apathy. When we say vote apathy, the government supporters did not vote. That's why this contributed their loss. But that's how, because when you go to Ashanti region like this, more times they always come out in their numbers to cast their vote. But this time around, it wasn't like that. Greater Accra, for instance, came out and voted. But other regions and other stuff were a little bit slow because they believe there's a lot of hardship and they decided not to maybe try to change government and see whether the hardship that we are experiencing as a country will rather maybe reduce or minimize. So, as I said, the jubilation is still going on, but the MPP...
So Godfrey, what you're trying to tell me is that the MPP supporters are saying that so Kumasi region, not many people came out to vote. So they're trying to say that because not many people came out to vote, that's why they lost. I mean, are they dreaming a bit? Are they still in a dream by thinking like that?
That's their belief because they know a region like Ahafo is one of the regions mostly always won by
MPP.
The MPP, but
right.
This time around it was won by the opposition. So they believe this has contributed to their defeat. But
so they don't believe that when they don't believe that some of the members, MPP members, is giving the opposition a chance. Anyway, that's the analysis. The point is, a result has been made. There's peace in Ghana, and the opposition, those that supported, because Ghana, we have to think one. See, this is the problem. If you're an NPP and an opposition has won, at least it's peace. So let's all join in and celebrate. That's my opinion anyway. But Godfrey, thank you very much for joining us.
Godfrey, let me just chip in a bit.
Yeah.
How are you, Godfrey?
Yeah, I'm fine, Nana.
Yes, and I hope you are feeling benza.
Well, explain that. What's Benza?
Oh, no, I'm just at home relaxing, monitoring and reading. So
as usual,
I'm just
as usual. Yeah. So Godfrey, the percentage, the gap, I mean, in the regions that NDC won as against NPP, was it 3 regions won by the NPP and over 10 regions by the NDC? Is that the case?
16, isn't it? 16 regions.
That's let me come in. This year's election is as I said, or Ghanaians living in UK understand that this year's election is a historical one, because this is the first time the country is just using a 16 regions. At previous elections, it was 10 regions in last time. This is the first time the country 12 presidential candidates. If I'm answering your question, NPP just won only the Ashanti, then the Northeast,
and then the Eastern region, as I understand.
Yeah, and then the Eastern region, and then this won the 13 out of the 16. So that's the numbers, or that's the.
So
when
that's
you
historical.
watch the graphical presentation, you see the Green Navy. That's what the NDC described it. The Green Navy. You see the 13 regions won by the opposition party. So if you say that's what is going on, that the NPP only managed to win 3 out of the 15 regions. Nana.
Okay, Godfrey, before you go, a colleague of mine actually was in Ghana recently, and from what he observed, most of the NPP machinery in terms of the campaign were everywhere in Ghana. I mean, you can hardly see any NDC campaign. So it means that NPP did campaigns very, very well. And for it to go disastrously wrong with a massive landslide, which apparently, as I understand, is going to give 2/3 majority in parliament in terms of the MPs, in terms of the legislature, to the NDC. That means that the president-elect is going to have all the powers to be able to amend the constitution, to be able to push through his policies, and to be able to bring something good for the Ghanaian and for the rest of Africa to emulate. We hope that will be the case instead of the other way around. What's your view on that? And is that the case?
Next year, parliamentary session is going to be the 9th parliamentary session of the 4th Republic. This year is the 8th. And when you come to this year, the numbers is not all that, it's close. It's only one person that makes the majority and then the minority. But this year's election, and this year have 156 seats, whilst the MPP had less than 80. So as you said, the decision making is going to be more or less favoring the NDC side because of the numbers. So when the debate is, when there is a debate and they try to put that debate into a vote, the NDC is going to win. So as you said, the decision making is always going to be on the other side because of the numbers they are having now. And so that's what is going on now. So the 9th parliament is going to be a different from this year parliament, Nana. And one thing that as you said about the campaign issue, the opposition tried to make the Ghanaian understand that there is a lot of economic hardship. That's one that's the one main objective or one reason why the NPP government lost this year's election, because of the hardship that the Ghanaians were feeling. That's why they decided to vote. Those who were supporting the NPP decided not to vote because they believe, yeah, indeed, there's economic hardship and other stuff. But as I said, when you come to these two political parties, you always have 5 million votes before election. So that they always trying to just get the strong people, those that they don't belong to any political party, to get that 50+1. So that's what happened this year. Those that they don't support any political party voted for John Dramani Mahama. That's why he was able to manage to overpass that 5 million vote that they normally do have. So this year election, it was won by the economic hardship that the country is experiencing now.
Right, but do you believe there was economic hardship?
as a media person, as a journalist, I always try to in fact be neutral.
Yeah.
But talking to a lot of people, talking to a lot of Ghanaians, always will tell you that there is a lot of economic hardship. There is so many things that not even maybe not even unemployment issue, or not even buying and purchasing. You know, Ghana is one of a country that they will always buy and come and sell. So when they are buying and selling and people are not buying it, that's where a lot of people do complain. The question that you asked, how indeed the people that have talking to you, the people that have interviewed, always telling me that there's too much economic hardship in Ghana.
Yeah, definitely. I was there 2 years ago, and I can say that there is economic hardship
Yes.
and anarchy.
But I think, Godfrey, I'm going to put you on the spot. I know you are a seasoned and a veteran journalist and a producer and a media mogul. I also know that you don't live anywhere in the global world apart from Ghana. And I'm sure you do buy the Awusa cocoa and the kenkes and the daily, products in terms of food. So even though you are trying to be objective and also try and balance the reportage, I think that sometimes you've got to be realistic, because the figures I have here is that in 2016, kenke was selling at 50p. It's now selling at 5 cities. And so how can you be there and not tell us the reality on the ground? Say.
No, let me come in. As I said earlier on, when they say the economic hardship, there's other factors that contribute to that. As you said, the KK and other stuff are increased, but the government will tell you that the wage bill has also been increased. That's the salary of government workers has also been increased. So when you compare the two, that's where you try to ask people who always go to the market and buy them those kind of things. Yes, indeed, when you ask them, they will tell you that things are now expensive as compared to last 4 years.
No, but what about you? I'm sorry to interject. I'm saying you as a person and as a journalist, are foodstuffs and things gone up, and is there action? Can you feel it, or you don't feel it?
He's being neutral, but don't be neutral. This is Keeping It Real show. Keep it real.
The foodstuffs, the commodities here has gone up. That one is a fact, and everybody knows that the commodities and other stuff, including transportation and the fuel and other stuff, have gone up. That's why this has contributed to the economic hardship that we are facing here.
Okay, thank you so much. We just wanted to have a reality check, because the program is, as
Keeping it real.
Lady Genevieve Amma said, keeping it real. So sometimes we like to keep it real. That's why I was pushing to make sure, is it a reality or it's a fabrication from people who are supporters to the opposition? That's why I wanted to know. All right, Genevieve.
So it's not only commodities. It's the fuel, then transportation, and you can even see the dollar to the city. It's something that people were complaining. Now $1 is 15 cedis, 30 pesos. So that the people believe that the economy has shaped, then there is a need to change the government and see if there's something better will come out. That's why I think people of Ghana voted for the opposition party.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Godfrey, and we do appreciate you for actually giving the global world. As you know, ABL TV 247 is a global channel reaching out to every home and every person around the world. And we thank you for your indulgence and also spread the word.
Soon, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Speak
Godfrey.
to you soon, yeah.
Thank you, Nana. And
Good
thank you,
night.
Genevieve.
Speak soon. So, Nana, I've got a few questions. So this economic hardship, we're keeping it real, right? And we're going to try and balance it.
Absolutely.
So let's start with MPP.
Right.
Let's start with what do you think because I haven't seen what they've achieved, but maybe I haven't looked into it properly. So let's balance it. What has MPP achieved in the last 8 years that we can sing about?
Well, I think that every political party at least does something.
Yes.
Yeah, so we cannot stand here and say MPP didn't do anything. Okay, at least they, according to their policies and promises, I think they overpromised Ghanaians. The promises were just overwhelming, and they couldn't fulfill most of it. You know, one factory, one district, one this, one, you know.
So that one factory, one district, was it going to be a factory in all the 16
that's
districts?
What you see, and you couldn't fulfill that. And also the hardship was just too much. It was just too much.
I know, but before we come to the hardship, because when they came into power 8 years ago, the hardship, Ghana was seen as one of the economic
growth was going up.
Yes, growing in West Africa. So before we come to that, my next question to you is that then they got some money to try and build this cathedral.
Right.
What became of that cathedral? Because they then destroyed a whole hospital. Do you remember?
They destroyed the whole judges' residencies.
Okay.
And, you know, a lot of things.
And a hospital just for this cathedral.
And 8 years down, it's just a foundation, and the rains have come in, and so the youth go there to swim in those waters. So it's become a laughable.
So that didn't take place.
Yes, that didn't take place.
And also, what happens that the believers in the community.
So why, if you can't do it, why promise God? People take it serious.
Yeah,
and
but
Christians in Ghana will take it serious.
No, but secondly, God is not so wicked that He's going to ask a government to spend what would have been billions of dollars, right? Billions of dollars.
Too much.
And there is starvation going on with the people. So
Exactly.
so that I can assure you, I'm going to speak on behalf of God because God is always being blamed for something. I can assure you that God will not want a building to be built where people are hungry. So anyway, they didn't fulfill that. So what else do you think that they fulfilled? Because I know that they built lots of nice houses for judges.
Well, I think that really, when you look at that particular issue in terms of the cathedral, the judges being moved and all that, was unnecessary. You understand?
No, but
he spent over
he built lots of,
$250 million just to create a foundation. Do you know what that 250 million could do for the villages in Ghana, in the
those
regions?
with water, those
Exactly.
the roads, etc.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, he
yeah.
also built. The MPP also spent. I'm not sure there's billions or millions. Judges had in Kumasi, judges were given lovely houses.
Well, for me, I guess.
So they were built.
You know,
So
it's a prioritizing staff was the issue for the NPP. And also, I mean, the arrogance, you understand? A lot of people saw the NPP as an arrogance because you came to power and the first thing you did is to give the Ghana International Airport Terminal 1 to the Americans as a military base, a lily pad. And so, therefore, people felt, what's going on?
No, but didn't that just happen last year?
No,
when they took the money from IMF?
No. That's happened as soon as he came to power. So, therefore, people were feeling, we want to come out of the colonization and imperialism thing, and you are rather taking us to that. If you look at other African countries like Niger and Burkina Faso and all the rest, they have actually tried to go independent and be themselves and all that. But you and the cousin of cousin, Nigeria, are rather going. And so it's something that people looked at it from another angle. Yeah. And then there was, the arrogance also played a part. There was too much arrogance among some of the...
As an example?
Yeah, majority, well, you take a person like the president himself, you know, wouldn't listen to the people that gave him the mandates.
Yes.
And I think that is arrogance.
Because presidents, leaders are there to serve.
You're not
You're
there
meant
to
to
come
serve.
and run over the people.
Yeah.
And I think platforms like ours need to stand out and challenge the leadership. And we are going to
That's what we're doing.
the same to Mahama.
Yeah.
Now Mahama has no excuse because the parliamentary legislative or the legislature, in terms of members of parliament, he has almost about 2/3. And he can push anything through. If he's for good, Ghana will be the beacon of Africa.
Well, I don't think Mahama has the choice because there's specific media that will definitely hold him
accountable.
accountable.
Well, he better not mess up because who will come after him?
But let's balance it because when MPP came in and Nado came in, I had, in fact, somebody fell out with him because the thing is, if you can't discuss politics intelligently and not lose your temper, then you have a problem because you should be able to discuss politics, religion, and everybody has their own opinion. But this person that I know literally got upset because the first thing she said is that everybody's complaining about Nana-Addo in the first year or first 2 years, and he hasn't done anything. So her answer was that, well, he's only been in power for a year, 2 years, so we should give him a chance. So they've been in power 8 years. From beginning to the end, I haven't, but when you speak to the strong supporters, they say that MPP has done something. And when you speak to voters of MPP, the first, and especially the women, the thing that they really focus on is free education.
Right.
The first year might have been free, but we all know the last 7 years, was it free, Nana?
Well,
the first year was, first 2 years probably.
Well, the free education is actually for the SHS, which is a 3-year, it's not a free education for the whole educational system in Ghana.
So it wasn't for the 16-year-olds,
It's just for those that have finished the earlier schools and finished the what they call it,
I know there's SHS is for the 16,
something like that. And then going to secondary school for 3 years. So it's a 3-year, I think, package that they gave to those students. And that's what the noise is about. It's not a free education from nursery, primary school to university.
I know, but when you listen, when you listen to the media and even on the ground, because I was in Ghana 2 years ago.
Okay.
Even this so-called free education, I think from the 3rd, 4th year going was no longer free because the food that the children were eating, even corruption came in. The people that were meant to be cooking for them was Africa. Seriously, the people that were meant to be cooking for those children. That was an issue.
Yeah, everything was an issue.
The children were eating really rubbish food.
Because even though education is good, but if you implement it and then you don't implement it well, then there's a cause for concern. And I think that is what the NPP had. Because for NPP being in power...
Yeah, but that's what made them win that last vote, you know, the free education. That was one of the stands.
Well, you know, people will say that, yes,
the cathedral.
People want better meant for Mother Ghana and Africa. So if somebody is promising you free education, is going to change the life of the people, is going to make sure...
Especially those that couldn't pay.
He's going to protect the pest. You see, and then you didn't protect the pest.
No.
That means that people have a concern. I think that in balancing our program, we should also be able to be real, as keeping it real, and be able to say the truth, and also hold leaders accountable, okay, probity balance checks, expose them and shame them. That is the only way they will change.
So before we come on to Mahama, let's go on to, because you have jumped straight onto what I'm about to say, because we have to keep on reminding our audience we are keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Because that's why you walked in. We're not pretentious. Everything is not going to be stiff. You could have been standing here with me, but you walked in just to show that this is live show.
Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised that you have not even mentioned the 54 million that was found in somebody's house. The money, apparently, every year there's about 6 billion or billions of money missing. How can billions of money go missing?
That's strange. And you have
and there are specific villages that do not even have a seat to say. It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. I get so frustrated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So 8 years ago, the economy, when Mahama left, I'm not saying that Mahama is perfect, but he did a lot that obviously the media, and Godfrey said something, and he answered my question when I did the show, I think on Saturday. That how is it that the media in Ghana were so pro NPP? And then he said majority of the media houses were owned by the members of parliament. So that made sense. So you can see where the bias was coming from. So from expenditure, because if they're suffering in Ghana, what happened to the money that were stolen? Some people were building mansions. Do you see? Does that tell you that Ghana is poor? Ghana is not poor.
I've always said even the whole of Africa is not poor.
No, but Ghana, I guess we're talking about Ghana now, but the whole of Africa is not poor.
Ghana is not poor,
no,
but the people are poor.
Yes.
The reason why the people are poor, because the leaderships do not account to anybody after taking the mandates. Okay? And then you've got the security apparatus.
No, but they're coming to enrich themselves though.
That's what I'm saying. They get the military, the policing, and all these security apparatus protecting them. So they keep stealing, and probably they've been giving a backhand to this security apparatus.
Comes under corruption.
And that we need to put it to them.
Yes.
And expose them.
And they need to be arrested.
Sure.
This cannot continue every year,
And the leader who can do
madness.
that. I'm telling you, if this victory,
because apparently this is historical. What's that taking place is really historical. So he's got a lot of power to change things.
Yes, because he doesn't even need the NPP to be in parliament. Because he's got three
he's got the majority.
Yes. So therefore, he can be for good or for evil.
No, do you know what's come to my mind right now?
Yes.
Because we are keeping it real, right?
Yes.
So in that NDC majority, let's hope that let's hope that the opposition has not bribed some of the NDC people to go against. Go against the leader. That would be very silly.
One of the things I want to make out here is that when I observed what is happening, earlier on, even before the elections, every platform I go on, I always say that, look, the NPP is going to lose. Because anybody you speak to in Ghana or talk to,
the suffering is too much.
Tells you that the pain, the abject poverty, the prices.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a wicked leader. No.
It was just too much.
I'm keeping it real. I'm not saying that Mahama, we'll see. Because the thing is, Mahama too, let's balance this, okay? I guess when you have, like I said last Saturday, being a leader of a nation is a father. It's like being a father or a mother, depending if you're a woman or a man or a woman. So you are the mother and you're the father. When you do right, the rest of the nation does well. When you do wrong, then you bring suffering. Do you see?
Well,
so I have to see that they were bad fathers.
There's an adage that says that before a fish gets rotten, it rots from the head.
Yes.
And trickles down.
Yes.
And so that's
because I was in Ghana 2 years ago. The corruption, I call it anarchy. I mean, I wish I had that. I guess anarchy is when there's lawlessness.
Yes.
That's another description, isn't it?
Well,
everybody was doing whatever they want because they've seen the leaders doing whatever they want. Let's talk about. I know, Nana, when you and I meet, we do keep it real, and we're not afraid to, because this channel, we have to keep it real, and we have to hold these African leaders accountable, because African descendants and Africans go through hell globally.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because they know, the Westerners know that we're sitting on a gold mine, the African continent.
Yes.
I mean, the North Africans are more or less doing their bit. It's not as bad as the Sub-Saharan Africa, which is South Africa, the Southern sphere, the Western sphere, and then the East.
Yes.
The Sub-Saharan Africans are not doing as well as they should. So my point here is that when Mohammed's coming into a lot of problems. Mohammed's coming into a lot of problems, is he not?
Well, it's true.
And they also took the money from. I was really upset with IMF. Why they gave the I guess the opposition party now, aren't they? Or they haven't? Are they still in party?
They've
It hasn't
lost,
been-
so on the 7th of January.
Then it'll be official.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's say that the current party, which is MPP,
Yeah.
why IMF 1 year to election gives Nanado that money?
You know, like
that
I
really
said,
upset me.
Even during the
So that means they used that money probably to do the campaign.
But the election manifesto from the NPP was that they're not going to go to the IMF. And so
They did, yes.
They failed and
Yes.
they breached that.
Yes.
Why go to the IMF?
Well,
So
they
you
wouldn't, because
cannot-
obviously after they spent the money and collapsed the economy, then I was told the IMF, they needed the IMF money. But in fact, I was looking for IMF email to write to them not to give any money.
Well, it's a process. There's a reason why they have to go to the IMF. That's deeper. Because African banks and African government don't control their own money system. The money system is controlled by the West. So there's an issue there. That issue, we need to have a discussion over that issue, and we need to.
That's
go
another
deep.
story, yeah.
Why do you think Muammar Gaddafi was killed? Why do you think Kwame Nkrumah was removed from power? Why do you think Magufuli was removed from Tanzania? Why do you think this guy now, the young boy called the Burkina Faso guy,
Yes.
is being tempted with so many coups? So Africans need to unite. It is a unity and accountability, probity, balance, and checks. Okay, and then also we need to have the information, education, and enlightenment programs that will enlighten. I think one thing I got from this particular election is that Ghanaians have become very enlightened. They were very aware.
No, but I think it's based on one particular person as well, and good medias. I mean, we've done our bit. We tried anyway. But I think it's based on that specific medias that we're not afraid to stand up against the authority of MPP.
Yeah, because
so I think that's what the educate. You know who I mean. You know the people that I mean.
But we need to keep it real. Look, people were scared to speak because this government.
I've mentioned his name. I think Kevin Taylor.
Well, it's not just
and
him.
other people.
There were other people that stood.
I mean, including us as well. Who else? They were
fixing Ghana. One guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he's dead now because even when he was sick, they won't even take him to the hospital. I think it's so bad.
Is it the one that started the marching?
Yeah, the marching.
Yes.
The protest.
Yes.
And I think that it's so bad. Ghanaians need to be aware that leaders, anybody that is elected, even Mahama and his NDC cohort that have got a majority now, you are elected into office to serve the people. And it's the people's mandate that has brought you to office. And it's a social contract. So therefore, do not think you can now come into, because people are really awakening and very aware. And I don't think Ghana is going to be the same. Because
I hope not.
The way this election went, I'm telling you, the people
Let me just
are aware.
spoken.
The people are
No,
very
but I'm
much
also
aware.
giving praise to God because the way it went is so strange that there's definitely a power behind it as well, in my opinion. Because some of us were fasting and praying. So it happened, but because Ghana and their beliefs, etc.
I hope this becomes a
God is definitely in
precedent.
this one.
I hope
Definitely.
this is a precedent and becomes the litmus test for the rest of Africa. I was listening to one Nigerian journalist called Dede Mumudu or something like that, and he emphasized that, look, when you look at the arrogance
of our leaders.
of our African leaders,
Yes.
and he referenced Tinubu of Nigeria, just 2 too arrogant.
No, but whose fault is it? I think the people allow it because
The people are very...
you just give them a bit of money,
It's the elite
a little,
person.
yeah,
But
a
you
little
see,
bribe.
I think that if the system is set up in such a way that you who come into the system and you are a tyrant, your tyranny cannot operate, then we have a good system.
Are you ready to talk about Ejapadia then?
Well,
Briefly.
the Japadia briefly. Is
I mean,
so sad.
that's a big one.
That's one of the things why people voted them out.
No, but do you know that they're trying to say that it was NDC that wrote it? It's dumb. NDC that wrote the Ejapadia. So why would NDC write an Ejapadia and it gives you power for security? They literally all the judges.
Look, the Ejapadia was written.
Crazy.
We all know who is in power. Who was implementing the Japadia?
Wickedness.
And then we have
Wickedness.
Adoye from the NPP coming to reveal the secrets.
Yes.
And then when you look at what was happening, it was just Japadia being
played out.
Exactly.
The word is played out.
So
like the security was changed.
Ghanaians got angry. Look, this is...
No, but a lot of them didn't believe. Do you know, I had a few arguments where people said...
As for the arguments,
they didn't believe that Ejapadia is real. That's true.
You always have people supporting the incumbents.
That's true.
But until we become so brave and we can speak out against the evils of these leaders, okay, then the countries of Africa will never survive. Already, look at how many Africans are dying in the seas crossing to Europe.
Just crossing.
Why should they cross to Europe?
When we have better lands, everything. The West relies on Africa.
So we,
resources.
the people, need to be enlightened so we can hold the right, leaders or get the right leaders in position and then hold leaders accountable.
So would you say that So would you say that what happened, because we cannot say that Mahama had such great outcome with just NDC voters. MPP voters also voted for them.
Forget that.
It's like me being Labour and voting for Conservative, depending on what they're...
But what people should also know...
I am not even Labour or Conservative. I go by leaders now.
Yeah, the NPP and the NDC cannot win a vote on their own.
Without oppositions...
without the floating voters.
Yes.
It is the floating voters that makes the kingship of any election.
And I think to back you up, and I think to back you up, that means there are thinking Ghanaians now. Even the literally, even the old.
I was surprised how Ghanaians have been awoken and become so enlightened. I'm so proud of Ghanaians. You see, because you vote.
So how about the MP? No, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
You vote political parties into party when they lie their ways in, and then the moment before elections, you see them going around pounding fufus, giving gari and sugar and some 100 Ghana here, 200. That's really abuse of the human rights to the core.
So that's what I said in my show on when I presented on Saturday. I said, because that's what they do. People are so hungry. I'll give you a bag of rice, oil, biscuits, vote for me. I said, remember even you said, take it and don't vote for them because the money belongs to them.
Yes, and normally...
They should take it.
Normally it was becoming like a president from all parties.
Yes.
And it's all right. And one thing Mahama has spoken, that is the president-elect. I listed everything. He said he's not going to lie. He's going to make sure.
He's going to keep it real.
Keep it real. And I'm going to follow. If he mess up, we are at his throats.
He doesn't have a choice.
And so therefore, I think with his experience previously,
because this time he's voted in.
A lot of infrastructure and stuff. He can.
He did all of that, but you know that the fact that the medias are controlled by these opposition people. Do you know that if it wasn't for this other media that I mentioned, I wouldn't even have known what Mahama did for Ghana, but he did a lot infrastructure-wise.
Oh, right, he did
even the electricity.
So why do you think they voted him back?
I think they voted him back because of education, because not many people know or knew what he did.
At least there's a saying and an adage that says that you can never submit the truth.
It will always come out.
Exactly.
You cannot hide. Yeah.
So we are only wishing the new elected president good luck, and we wish also to pray for him to execute the very best for Ghanaians.
Number one, but I want him to arrest certain people. I want them to confiscate money. That constitution, that's what I'm saying, that you have to somehow.
No, but it's already said it. Everybody will be held accountable. Everybody in the previous government. And we will hold Mahama to his.
Because apparently there's a clause that if America can hold Donald Trump to impeachment and all of that, why can't African leaders? Because apparently it's in our constitution.
Normally, the African judiciary and the rule of law and all those things.
They don't even follow it.
Weak. Yes.
Now,
so
what I'm saying is that
those things.
Why could we? This constitution apparently it's written in there that a past president cannot be arrested if they've stolen blah 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 blah,
Well,
etc.
I think
etc.
the past
etc.
presidents have that, immunity just for 3 years. After that, you can arrest them.
Oh, it's just for 3 years.
I think so. Yes.
I think it needs
I'm
to be
very
changed
sure.
because this. How about another thing, another question when we're going to Enzo? Because you and I can go on and on and on. We may have to do some, other parts, not necessarily post-election, but the issues of Africa. We know I get so frustrated. It has to change.
Absolutely.
We're not going to be talking. We need to act.
Well,
so the question I wanted to ask you is that Mahama's going to come into a lot of mess. We know that. At least the first 2 years, we need to give him grace.
Yeah.
But maybe if I were him, I guess in the first year he has to really act fast.
Well, I think that
He doesn't have to wait for 2 years, really,
yes,
does he?
He doesn't have to.
He just have to put people in place.
He has to hit the ground running
and get the projects going.
I think, in my personal opinion, if I'm the president, the first thing I'll do, I'll make sure that the agro sector, because that is what feeds Ghanaians.
Agriculture, yes.
Agriculture, number one.
Export as well.
Yes. For what we have now, and the
right.
shortfall,
Yeah.
we export so that we can have government enterprises.
No, but they need to help the farmers because farmers are treated really bad.
Yeah, but you see,
in Ghana.
if the government can roll out enterprises in all the 16
yes,
regions,
and incentives,
and then be in control,
right? Okay, so manage it, right?
manage the food sector.
Right.
All the market people will reduce the prices.
Yes,
even by half.
Yes,
will be a start for.
Because our land grows everything.
So why should we be buying kenke for 5 cedis and buying? It doesn't make sense.
But Nana, it's so painful.
Petrol prices is just over the. It's just crazy.
Okay, because this is post-COVID and we're discussing. We've tried to balance it, but I'm trying to look at the good that MPP has done. We have to balance. I'm sure they've done some good. Number one.
At the moment,
I don't see much.
If they done good, they would have been kept in power.
Yeah, but I'm trying to balance it. Okay, let's keep it real. We're keeping it real, right?
We're keeping it real, but you can balance something when the balance is not balancing.
But can you also answer this question for me? I don't understand why that you vote for a specific party, you see that they're doing wrong, evil, and yet you still stick with them.
Yeah, what happened, I think Ghanaians became awoke, and Ghanaians decided that bigotry and tribal
voting,
is no more.
No.
Okay? So you could clearly tell. When you
so therefore, the people that didn't vote are still the tribal voters then, but they didn't want to vote for NDC, so they'll rather not vote.
Well, that's fair.
I think that's what
it
is. I think God arranged that.
But you always have core voters, and then you have floating voters.
Yes.
So the core voters, the floating voters, that went on the NDC side in a massive way, plus the disenfranchised NPPs also who voted for them.
So disenfranchised meaning that they're unhappy, those that were really unhappy.
So you could tell that that's what happened. And this should send a signal to every political leader in Africa, and even including Mahama.
But I think
that if he messes up, the people will not forgive him.
No, well, Mahama doesn't have a choice. He can't mess up, number one. I'm trusting that he can't mess up. Because when he was in power before, he did something. And you could tell that he has a care. You could tell that he has a care for the country. But like you said, he can't mess up. But he's come into a lot of problems. The people have spent the money.
Yes,
they've come into riches. They need to be arrested.
That's why he needs to find holistic solutions to the problems. And I'm saying to you, if Africa can feed itself, or Ghana can find a solution to the food, because Ghanaians, I'll tell you a secret. When Kwame Nkrumah was taking off power, allegedly with the CIA involvement and all that, because the way he was taking Ghana was too much. because Kwame Nkrumah built Tema motorway.
Yeah, he
Our
was so
colonial masters,
clever.
British didn't have a motorway.
Yeah, he was so clever.
And Ghanaians feed them, let them be full, eat. You'll be free to, manifest good things. But if they are hungry, 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 they'll never forgive you.
And there's another thing, that the reason why a lot of the people didn't come out to vote, as one of our reporters said, our lovely sister Julie, they need money. People are not buying anything. They were not going to leave their market and shops.
Okay, on that I agree. Let me take a swipe on that one. I think that it cuts across the whole country because people want change, and you are not
So
going
you have to vote, yeah.
And somebody feels he's so hungry, doesn't want to be hungry for the next 4 years.
Okay, so let's leave it. I am really of the belief that there was divine intervention, whether you want to believe it or not. Because even Godfrey said that this is historic, isn't it?
Well, because they mess up, then people mess up. That's why we have historic. Because how can you be in power for 8 years and not be able? You came to power saying that the person who was there.
No, but they messed up 4 years ago. They're still. Well, mind you, that's allegedly that was stolen. Allegedly.
Look, if Nana Addo had really delivered, I'm telling you, NPP could have broken the 8 and continue ruling.
No, but how can
He had all the mandate. Look at 2016, the promises he made.
Yeah, but Mahama left him a good economy.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that they believe Atta Mills and Mahama have been in power for 8 years, which was becoming like a precedent in Ghana. So let's take.
So people wanted to see a change.
Yes,
yeah.
And then
who can do better?
The Akufo-Addo government came with gargantuan promises, and it was just hilarious, So, like a colleague of mine said, he shot his own foot, man.
But Nana, when you said that if this man had delivered, how can this man deliver? He didn't give a hoot about Ghana.
Well,
why do I say that?
Based
on that, Japadia, those people that do not believe it, it baffles me. This man and a few of them was like a clan. They came up, they wrote a manual for themselves, and they carved out how they were going to control Ghana. That's wickedness, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So let's leave it at this.
I think that it's a historic vote, gives the president-elect
let's just pray.
Mandate, and we hope that it delivers with the good, positive energies. And it seems that his previous experience, plus this time, he will leave a legacy.
And don't forget, he's very intelligent as well.
Yes, if we are not careful,
we're going to have one.
This man will be the second Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
He can either be that or become an.
Of course, I'll be John.
Yeah.
And we need righteous voters. Remember, I was discussing with our lovely engineer Prince. We need righteous voters, not religious. I keep saying that if you're a believer, we need to infiltrate all these areas. You can't be just in church praying, not acting. Because we can change. Do you understand me? But even you don't even have to be a believer. Thinking right. Right means as a leader, you want the best for the people.
Well,
is it difficult to rule a nation if you care for the people? What's so difficult about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not difficult.
The right people have to get the power. And let's pray. The second coming of Mahama.
Apart from Mahama, then the next one has to be a woman, and then they don't call me first lady for nothing.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Shall we end here? Because you and now we can go on and on and on and on.
Okay, then. Yeah, fine.
Shall we end here?
Yeah.
And
you are the boss.
We can. No, you're the boss, the owner, and the founder, and the CEO.
Oh dear, I'm humbled.
The owner, founder, and CEO of ABL TV.
I'm not sure about that.
So thank you very much for joining me. I mean, I knew, because anytime you and I, today we're not arguing, because next time let's talk about China and Africa, because I know that was going to be heated. Because
today it's a nice.
No, today's nice, because normally you and I are normally on the opposite.
Well,
but today we balanced it well.
It depends on the subject matter.
Yeah, so when it comes to China and Africa, I have my opinion, and you have yours.
I mean, everybody has an opinion,
Yes.
one way or the other.
Yes.
There's a saying that says that
No, but we need to discuss that.
opinions are like onions, and everybody has one.
Exactly. That's why you should not be upset if somebody is an MPP voter or NDC voter. Some
And so
people.
that dedication you are giving to the election
Yes,
audience.
yes. Even because all I want, you know what? I used to vote Labour, but now call me a floater. I go by what I hear. If I like what I'm hearing, and you're conservative, I might vote for you, and vice versa. I'm not sticking to a party just because
Yes.
I'm sticking to you.
And I think
Because
most-
you have to think Ghana first. You have to think
Yes.
UK first. You have to think what bills, what laws are they coming in that will
Yes.
help? That will
Yes.
help my belief. What I want for the people.
Yes.
What is going on in the schools? What did you see? Knife crimes. All of this. I'm going off track a bit, but you know what I'm saying. So those are the things that I normally
Yes.
go for. Did you want to say something?
Well,
did you want to close?
Okay, all I want to say is that we need to be awakened, especially in Africa, and Ghana's election has been a litmus test that should trickle down the rest of Africa. The people have become very awakened and very enlightened, very informed, well informed, and very educative as well. So the point I want to make is that, look, everybody in terms of our colonial masters, they will come and exploit Africa
It's still
for
happening.
their own people,
Yeah.
for the good of their people. So we also have to make sure we keep our resources for the good of our people. In that note, I'll say it's been an interesting
Conversation. So
Conversation.
I want to add to that, like people get upset with Trump when Trump says America first. He's saying, he's not saying he doesn't want to help the foreigners, but he's saying that the people in his country do not have job, blah 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 blah, etc etc etc. So let's take care of them first. It's the same thing that I say that Ghana. Think Ghana first. The indigenous Ghanaians are really suffering. We find that the foreigners are doing better than the indigenous Ghanaians. And how do the Ghanaians do better? It's the government, the father of the nation. If you're a leader, you're a father. A woman or a man, you're a father. So they need to think, like you said, the agriculture bit. They need to think Ghanaians first. How can they help the people? And the small, well, it's not small, big things like the rural areas. Some part don't even have running water, Nana. Oh, let's not even talk about Galamsey. That's another big thing that Mahama needs to deal with. But I think we need to pray for him because he's come into a big mess. He's come into a very difficult economical situation. Do you agree or not?
Well, Ghana is a mess. The
Yeah.
economy is a mess.
Yes.
The
And then-
exchange rate is a mess.
The two.
Digitalization is a mess.
And then number 4,
Yeah.
the fact that they've taken a loan from IMF, money that, do you think that there's any money left?
Well, the IMF
So-
will always come to the aid of any country, if you request it, because at the end of the day, the secret behind the whole money system is that they control the money system of the world. And that is why we have the BRICS, which is the
That's coming up,
Brazil,
yeah.
Russia,
China,
India, China, South Africa. I've started with the BRICS too.
I'm sure people are going to be joining.
Well, to also try and see if they can bring
Would
an
you
alternative.
would you say that is similar to the G7? That is it the G7 or G9?
The G7, G9.
They don't even include
are all
Africa.
for this particular system controlling the rest of the world. So
Yeah, but they don't even. There's no African continent. There's no African leaders in the G7.
well, that's why Africa needs to create its own and take care of its own people.
On that note,
All right.
Nana Osage, thank you very much for this amazing, interesting topic. So you're listening to Keeping It Real Show, hosted by Genevieve Amasewa, brought to you by ABL Television, rebranded 247. ABL Television 247. Our sister radio is also called Voice of London. So you might be hearing us on the radio soon. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time. Peace out. Contribution very well. Playing that music that I like.